The stock price of Donald Trump's struggling social media business fell from its ludicrous high on Monday after the company posted major losses, and experts warned that it was an ethical nightmare. Meanwhile, Trump celebrated Easter by posting one of his most deranged screeds yet. For more on this, it's time for a closer look. This morning, President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden hosted the annual White House Easter egg roll. And to preview the event, they did an interview with Al Roker where they indulged in a few corny Easter jokes.
So the Easter egg roll is about to start. We had a little problem with the weather, but now the volunteers are getting set. And Dr. Biden, what's the theme this year? This is something close to your heart.
It is. You know, I've been a teacher for over 30 years, so this is egg-ucation. So as you can see, there's something for everybody here.
1878, this started with Rutherford B. Hayes. I think I met him, but, what is it?
A classmate of mine.
One of your classmates.
Look, politics aside, that's what old people are supposed to do on Easter. They're supposed to make corny jokes, wear silly egg-themed ties, and catch a quick nap during Easter Mass. Now let's compare that to what Donald Trump was up to on Easter.
Trump has spent Easter Sunday on this angry social media bender.
Donald Trump marking the holiday, attacking political opponents in all caps, unleashing on prosecutors in his various trials, posting more than 70 times.
He posted 70 times on Easter. What's in the baskets at the Trump family Easter egg hunt? Cadbury meth eggs? Here is Donald Trump's Easter greeting in its entirety. I hope you're ready for this because it's insane. Happy Easter to all. Happy Easter, everyone. Hey, you know what? That was really sweet. Shame on me for judging the man. Maybe inside that gruff exterior... Well, what's that? Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I'm being told I was accidentally given a graphic with only the first and last sentences of Trump's post. And we left out the entire middle. So let me try that one more time. Happy Easter to all, including crooked and corrupt prosecutors, me, and judges that are doing everything possible to interfere with the presidential election of 2024 and put me in prison, including those many people that I completely and totally despise because they want to destroy America. And now, failing nation, like deranged Jack Smith, who is evil and sick, Mrs. Fawny Wade, who said she hardly knew the special prosecutor, only to find that he spent years loving her long before the Georgia persecution of President Trump began, and therefore making the case against me null, void, and illegal and lazy on violent crime. Alvin Bragg, who, with Crooked Joe's DOJ thugs unfairly working in the DA's office, illegally indicted me on a case he never wanted to bring, and virtually all legal scholars say is a case that should not be brought, is breaking the law in doing so. Pomerantz was turned down by all other law enforcement authorities and is not a crime. Happy Easter. Okay, everyone. There you go. Got it back there right at the end. The worst part, stole that from a Hallmark card. The next post was even worse. Also, grandson, who is hardly very grand, took bite of chocolate rabbit even after I had called it, which is both wrong and sick. And when I threatened to sue him for his jelly beans as restitution, Eric Trump told me to chill. When I asked him how he would feel if someone ate his chocolate rabbit on Easter, he said he never got a chocolate rabbit on Easter. Take it up with your dad, I said, to which he said, you are my dad. To which I said, I thought Don Jr. was my son. And he said you could have more than one. Pomerantz! That, by the way, like, I think 3 sentences in before they were like, this one's not real. Every day is April Fool's. That Easter rant may be the most deranged thing Trump has ever posted online, which is saying something because he once misspelled his own name. Just put yourself in a place where a friend or loved one sent you a text like this. Would you immediately alert your entire family and urge them to seek help, or would you write back and say, you've got my vote in November? Also, Trump is so deeply immersed in his own little lunatic universe of right-wing memes and conspiracy theories that he thinks everyone will just know what he means when he blurts out names like Pomerantz. Sounds like George Costanza yelling about a neighbor who stole his parking spot. Pomerantz! I followed for 9 years. I have a staff that spends every day poring over every word that Trump utters, and none of us have any idea what the he's talking about. I typed Trump Pomerantz into Google, and even Google was like, don't do this to yourself. But Trump's lunacy is not an aberration within the GOP, it's the norm. They spent all weekend furious about the fact that Transgender Day of Visibility just happened to fall on the same day as Easter this year, and they blamed it on Joe Biden rather than the real reason, the calendar.
Republicans are criticizing the White House over a statement that acknowledges today, March 31st, as the Transgender Day of Visibility. Their issue is that today is also Easter.
This year, the 2 days only coincided by chance. The Day of Visibility is held every year on March 31st, while the date for Easter changes year to year.
House Speaker Mike Johnson rebuked Biden, saying, quote, "The Biden White House has betrayed the central tenet of Easter, which is the resurrection of Jesus Christ, banning sacred truth and tradition while at the same time proclaiming Easter Sunday as Transgender Day."
Well, this is a clear effort and a coordinated effort to remove God from our society and to replace God with false gods. And in this instance, it's the trans community.
Yeah, we should have a more respectful Easter proclamation that puts the emphasis where it's deserved. Evil Fonnie Willis, sick Jack Smith, and the corrupt judges and prosecutors who despise America. Not only did Trump not mention religion in his screen, everyone who read it took the Lord's name in vain. Jesus Christ with this guy. I can't believe I have to explain this, but sometimes two things happen on the same day. For example, in 2018, Easter and April Fools were the same day, and I don't recall any Republicans going on Fox and claiming the sacred resurrection of Christ has been sullied by all these frivolous pranks and goofs. Although who can forget when Mary Magdalene rushed to Jesus' tomb, discovered it was empty, and told Peter and John, "My dudes, I think we've been pranked." Who pranked us? Pomerantz! Trump's lunacy is dangerous on its own, but on top of that, he's also desperate for cash, which is a terrifying combination in a presidential candidate. In fact, he's so desperate for cash, he's selling Bibles glued to some bonus material he stole from an 8th grade civics class. Over the weekend, his partner in that business venture, the singer Lee Greenwood, defended their Bible sales.
People have gotten on us and Donald Trump about the God Bless USA Bible. I have mine here right in front of me, and this one is signed by the former President Donald Trump. See how beautiful this Bible is. Check that out. It's leather. It has the documents of the Constitution, the Declaration of Independence, the Bill of Rights, and the handwritten lyrics of God Bless USA, along with the Pledge of Allegiance. The reason we have this Bible is to make sure more people have it accessible. If you have this Bible today, you'll be able to actually find out how our country got started with those 4 documents and be able to read them. Because sometimes if you go to Washington, D.C., those documents are under glass.
Are you under the impression those are the only copies? Do you want us to believe you, Trump and Nicolas Cage, teamed up to break into the National Archives at night and made photocopies of the Constitution so the rest of us could finally read it? We have to share this with the world for the low, low price of $59.99. Seriously, you know about the internet, right? Because they have the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Declaration of Independence, and a quiz that tells you which Sex and the City character you are. I've taken it 1,000,000 times, and I keep getting Steve. Come on, Miranda, just let me take the quiz again. It's a very good Steve. It never plays, but it's a very good Steve. I don't need you to tell me, because I know inside me it's good. Trump's desperation for cash makes him even more of a target for corruption and influence peddling than he already is. Just take his so-called Trump Media and Technology Company, which, as we explained last week, is a massively overinflated bubble completely divorced from the reality of the underlying business, which has been an abject failure. Experts are warning it's also an ethics nightmare. But how blank do you think Trump's stare is when someone tells him his business presents an ethical conundrum? Well, you certainly could make billions on the deal, sir, but there is a moral quandary. Who the is this dork? Here's the obvious problem. Any rich person or foreign entity could decide to invest in Trump's company just when he desperately needs the cash to pay off his fines and legal bills. And Trump himself said recently he could take foreign money if he wanted to.
Accept money from a foreign government to pay the bond or their fines or
no, I don't do that. I think you'd be allowed to, possibly. I don't know.
Even when Trump says he won't do something corrupt, he immediately confesses he might do something corrupt. By asking the question, you're giving him the idea. You can see the wheels turning as he answers. Mr. Trump, would you ever steal money from a child's lemonade stand? No, I would never do that. They'd notice right away. Unless, of course, You pretend to knock over the cup and then refilled it with things that sounded like coins when they weren't looking, washers. Old subway tokens. By the time they figured it out, you'd be long gone. So possibly I could do it. I might do it. I did it. I did it yesterday, so yeah. And then today, in a turn of events that should shock absolutely no one, the stock price of Trump's struggling media company fell after the company posted major losses.
Take a look at your screens right now. Trump's media stock is down 18% right there. You can see it. It has been dropping throughout the morning. This comes after the company that owns Truth Social posted financial numbers this morning.
Truth Social owner Trump Media lost $58 million last year, and it generated very, very little revenue, just $4.1 million in revenue. Truth Social is struggling. I mean, it is shrinking. Monthly active U.S. users on iOS and Android down 51% year over year. I think all of this just underscores why there's a lot of warnings out there about this stock.
What a shock that the stock price of a company with no profits or success of any kind is falling. The way things are going, Trump's going to have to start selling a deluxe Bible with a dictionary attached. We love the disciples John, Matthew, Miriam, and Webster. Maybe Trump will finally learn how a successful business works. He's in for a real education, or if the stock hits zero, it'll be more of an
education.
This has been A Closer Look. Hey, I hope you enjoyed A Closer Look, and if you didn't, why are you still watching? Why would you stay for this part? Anyway, did you know that we also have something on our show called Corrections? We tape it right after the audience leaves on Thursday, and right after our cameraman, Buck, does a whole tank of nitrous. It's full of inside jokes like that you couldn't possibly get unless you go all the way back to the beginning. That's right, I'm not telling you to watch Corrections starting today. I'm telling you to go back and watch from episode 1. If you miss even one, the whole thing is It's easily over 20 hours at this point. It was nominated for an Emmy in 2021, in 2022, and never again. So the arrow is pointing down. Corrections, it posts every Friday. Give it a look. And oh, one more thing. I wrote a podcast with my brother. Yeah!